Hello friends, welcome to Learner's Planet. Friends, this is our fifth session for geometry workshop. In the previous sessions, we have discussed good number of theorems, concepts, even we have taken examples, problems based on geometry. In this session, again we'll be taking some good conceptual problems from previous year papers and other mock test papers. And here I would suggest you have your paper and pen with you. Pause the session, see the problem and try to solve it on your own. Okay, so this way you'll be able to gain confidence in yourself if you are able to solve the problems. Okay, so let's begin this session. Let's see this problem. Angle ABC is 90 degree, measure of angle arc BXC is 120 degree, DB is equal to DC. If diameter of the circle is 20, then we have to find out the ratio of triangle ABC to BDC. Now friends, listen to me carefully. See, this center angle is this 120 degree. I just draw the diagram over here. This angle, if it is 120 degree, then from the same segment, the angle at the circumference will be half of that, right? If it is x, it is 2x, right? So here it is what? BXC. I won't draw over here. You need to visualize that because it is not necessary to solve the problem. You just have to find out this angle. So this is 2x, then this will be x. That means if the angle BXC is 120 degree, that means BDC should be 60 degree. So this angle is 60 degree. Now what? DB is equal to DC. That means these two angles must be same with the sum 120 degree. That means these two angles will also be 60 degree. That means DBC is nothing but an equilateral triangle. Getting my point? So DBC is an equilateral triangle. Now what? Next is diameter of the circle is 20 units. Now this angle B is what? 90 degree. That means AC should be diameter of the circle because angle in semicircle is 90 degree. That means AC is this ABC is forming semicircle and AC is diameter with length 20 units, right? Directly we cannot say AC will be 20. If this angle is 90 degree, then only AC will be 20 because angle in semicircle is 90 degree. So this length is what? 20. Now what? See, this is the segment BC. On this segment we are getting this angle BDC. On the same segment we are getting the other angle BAC, right? Angles on the same segment are always equal. So if it is 60 degree, it has to be 60 degree. Now if it is 60, it is 90, then it must be 30, right? Now suppose this is X and this is Y. Now to find out the area of triangle ABC, what we need? We need length of AB and BC. Now X and 20, the relationship is given by sine theta. Here theta is what? 30 degree, opposite to perpendicular. So sine 30 degree is what? Half is equal to X by 20. That means X is equal to what? 10. So this length is 10, this length is 20. So this length will be 400 minus this 400 minus 100, that is root 300, or we can say 10 root 3. Now 10 root 3, that is the side of this triangle and that is base of triangle ABC. Okay. So now we have to find out the area of triangle ABC to area of triangle DBC. ABC area will be what? Half base into altitude, right? And area of triangle DBC is what? At an equilateral triangle, root 3 by 4, side square, side is what? 10 root 3 into 10 root 3, right? That's you, or you can say 300, right? So that's this. So this 10 and this 10 is cancelled. So finally it is root 3 into root 3, 3, and this 2 will go into numerator. So it's 2 is to 3, right? Not much paperwork is required, just conceptual problem. See, various concepts are involved over here. Listen to me once again. I'll just making a quick recap. First of all, the center angle is BXC, 120 degree. From that you can find out this angle, that is circumference. So from that you are able to know that this triangle DBC is an equilateral triangle. After that, AC is a diameter, the next concept we are using here, because angle in semicircle is 90 degree. After that we are using trigonometric ratios to find out the length of AB and BC, right? So 3 or 4 concepts are involved over here to solve this problem. Okay, if you are able to recap, if you are able to recall this concept, this problem is a matter of less than a minute. Otherwise it will be really a time taking process, and huge paperwork will also be involved. Okay, so with minimal paperwork, this is the solution. I hope you are clear. Just note down all the points which are important. Okay. Now friends, let's see this problem. Here AB is parallel to DC and ABFD is a rhombus. Angle DEC is a right angle. DE is 8 units. EC is 6 units. Area of quadrilateral ABCD. Here this ABCD should be a trapezium because AB is parallel to DC, right? So this trapezium ABCD is 38.4. The area of quadrilateral ABFD. ABFD is a rhombus. That means we have to find out the area of this rhombus. Okay. Now what friends? See, this is 8, this is 6. That means DC must be 10, right? And altitude of this trapezium as well as triangle DEC we can find out. I suppose this altitude is having the length as D. Now there are 2 ways of finding out the area of triangle DEC. Listen to me carefully. Half base into altitude, right? Apart from that, half, this is base, that is 10, into altitude of this triangle as well as altitude of this trapezium. So that is D, right? So D is 4.8. That is altitude of this trapezium as well as this triangle. Now friends, what? See this ABFD, right? Altitude is same, and but this length DF is what? That we need to calculate. Now what is the area of a trapezium? Area of a trapezium, suppose I assume this AB as X. Sum of the parallel sides into altitude into half, and that is given to us as 338.4. So X plus 10 is 16, that means X is 6. That means this length is 6. Now since this is one sort of parallelogram, and what is the area of a parallelogram? That is base into altitude. Now base is 6 over here and altitude is 4.8, because altitude of ABCD and ABFD will remain same. DF is 6 because all the sides of a rhombus are equal, so AB will be equal to DF, that is X is equal to 6, right? So base is 6, altitude is 4.8, so 6 into 4.8, that is a bit less than 30, so that's 28.8. Okay, so this way you can do this problem easily. See, in the problems which are asked in CAT examinations, they are generally conceptual, right? Not very lengthy, not a lot of paperwork is required, but the problems are really conceptual, right? So let's take the next one, and do note down the important points so they can be used in solving the problems which we are going to discuss afterwards. Okay, let's take the next one. Now let's see this problem. ABC is an equilateral triangle where BD is equal to DF is equal to DE is equal to EG is equal to EC. Okay, and we have to find out what is the ratio of area of shaded part to area of triangle ABC. Shaded part, that means AFDEG, and to that triangle ABC. Okay, that means precisely from the total we have to find out the portion that is shaded away, that is AFDEG, right? Now for this problem there is no paperwork required at all, right? Now why? See, this length is equal to this length. This angle we already know, since ABC is 60 degree, that means this angle must be 60 degree. Now this length is equal to this length, that means this angle should also be 60 degree, then that means this should also be 60 degree. That means BFD is nothing but an equilateral triangle. Similarly EFG is also an equilateral triangle. Now this length and this length, all of the 3 lengths are equal. That means there are 3 equal partitions of this line BC. right? So that means BD is 1/3 of BC. So if length of this equilateral triangle is 1/3 of the total equilateral triangle, that means the area will be 1/9, obviously. Okay, length is 1/3, area is 1/9. So BFD is actually 1/9 of the total triangle. Similarly, EGC is 1/9 of the total triangle. That means BFD plus EGC is 2/9 of the total triangle. That means FAGED is 7/9 of the total triangle. Do I need any paperwork? No. Okay, pretty simple problem, friends. Now friends, we are having this problem with us. Here AD is to DC 3:4, AD DC 3:4, AB is parallel to DE, AB is parallel to DE, BD is parallel to CF, BD is parallel to, EF. Okay, we have to find out the area of ABD and BDC, ratio of ABD to BDC, right? Now you should try this problem on your own. Again, there is no paperwork required at all. Okay, only after trying you should see the solution. That's a suggestion. Now what is happening over here? See this triangle ABC. If I draw a line over here, right? This will be the altitude of this triangle, right? Suppose this is CP. Now CP is altitude of triangle ABD as well as BDC, right? Now what is happening? Since in the case of ABD and BDC, in both the cases the length of altitude is same, right? That means area depends upon the length of base. Now what is the length of base? AD is 3x and DC is 4x. AD is the base for ABD and DC is the base for BDC, right? So AD is 3x and DC is 4x, right? And altitude is same. So what is the ratio? What is the ratio? Nothing but whatever is the ratio of the base, that will be the same ratio of the areas, because altitude is same in both the cases. Okay, so you see, no this parallelism, no this angle, nothing is required at all. They are just to misguide. Okay, so whatever is the ratio of the bases, since altitude is same, the same will be the ratio of areas. Okay, a very simple concept has been used over here. Now friends, let's take this problem, a complicated dangerous diagram. ABCD is a square, area of the square is 144 into 4 plus 2 root 3. Area is also dangerous. A, O1, O2 and C, they are on a straight line where AC is a diameter. We have to find out the radius with circle with center O2, right? That means we have to find out the radius of the circle. This angle is given to us 60 degree and this is 30 degree. Right now what happens, the first thing that comes up the mind is this diagram is really complicated, so the problem will be difficult to attempt, maybe time consuming as well, right? So generally we drop this sort of problems. Okay, but believe me, whenever the diagrams are complicated, the problems are easy to solve, because every complication gets into the diagram, not in the solution, right? Now listen to me carefully. How do we find out the radius of the circle? First of all, what I do, I drop a perpendicular over here, because DC is what? It is a tangent. So this angle will be 90 degree, right? Now AC is what? It is, I assume radius of this circle to be R. This is R. Now what? See, AC is what? That's diagonal of this square. Now diagonal, now this complete angle is 90 degree. That means half of this will be 45 degree. Actually diagonal makes 45 degree angle with side. So this is 45 degree. So if this is 45 degree, this will also be a 45 degree, right? Because 90, 45, 45, right? So that means this length and this length, both the lengths will be same, right? So if this is R, that has to be R. Okay. Now what? We are unaware of, suppose I assume this point to be P. We are unaware of the side DP, right? Now the thing that we have to calculate is R. And we don't know DC. Now since in the case of square, the area is what? Side square. Now this is area. Can we find out the side? See, whenever you see this sort of complicated irrational numbers, what you can do, these are always in A plus B whole square format or A minus B whole square format. Just listen to me carefully. Okay, this expression I am just copying over here, 4 plus 2 root 3. Now can you suggest me two numbers whose product is 3 and sum is 4? Product is 3 and sum is 4. Obviously 1 and 3, right? So what? Root 3 plus 1 whole square. If you open that up, you'll be getting 3 plus 1 plus 2 root 3. That's 4 plus 2 root 3, right? So this is actually sum and this is actually product. So root 3 and 1. So 4 plus 2 root 3 square root will be root 3 plus 1, because this is actually root 3 plus 1 whole square. So that's a plus b whole square format. This is, so square root will be a plus b, right? And 144 square root will be 12. So this side is actually 12 root 3 plus 1, right? Quite simple. And that should be clear in your mind. Whenever a plus b whole square format, how do you get the square root, right? If this sort of irrational numbers are given. Now what, I'll be using trigonometry over here to make the problem simpler. As I have told you in my basic sessions also, that you should be knowing the basic trigonometric ratio and their values. Here the relationship between this and dp. See, this 12 root 3 plus 1 is the complete DC, right? The entire length. Okay, I am interested in dp. dp is what? The relationship between dp and this O2P is given by tan theta, that is theta is 60 degree over here, and tan 60 degree is root 3. So r by dp is root 3. So r is equal to dp root 3, right? Or we can say dp is equal to r by root 3. So this length is what? R by root 3. This length is what? R. And in all, the total size is 12 root 3 plus 1. That means r plus r by root 3 is 12 root 3 plus 1. So if we add both of them, I take r as common, 1 plus 1 upon root 3. So that's root 3 plus 1 upon root 3. And that is actually 12 root 3 plus 1. Side of the square, what is r? 12 root 3. Okay. So what is the radius of this circle? 12 root 3. Similarly, if at all it is asked to find out the radius of the circle, that can also be done similarly. Okay. So the complicated problems involves this much paperwork. Only this much. Even from this also you can reduce to certain extent. Till here the problem is going on. This 4 plus 2 root 3, if you know the concept, you don't have to write it over here. Instantly you can say the sum is 3 plus 1 and product is 3. So the number should be 3 plus 1. That means it is root 3 plus 1 whole square. That means square root will be root 3 plus 1 into 12. Right? After that, it's really easy one. What I have done, using trigonometric formula, trigonometric ratio, I find out the length dp and I matched dp plus pc with the length of the square. Right? So unknown variable, that is r, can be calculated easily. Right? So this is a unique solution to this problem. You won't be getting such solution anywhere in the solutions of any mock test or anywhere else, right? And I have used trigonometric relationship over here. That's why this problem is being solved very easily. Okay, I hope you are clear. Now once again, a complicated figure with us. Quadrilateral ABCD is a square which is inscribed in a circle with center O and radius R. Okay, and DOBE, that's a line, DCF, same straight line, area of EDF, that means area of this triangle EDF by area of AGFD, AGFD is 3:2. Okay, and here we are given area of EGB also, that is 36 square unit. We have to find out the area of this circle, that's this. Okay, so what I assume, see this angle is 45 degree because this is diagonal. So if this angle is 45 degree, this has to be 45 degree, right? Because this is 90 degree. Okay, that's already given. I'm sorry, I forgot to draw. That's already given. Since this is 90 degree, this must be 45 because this is diagonal. So if this is 45, this will be 45. Now again, ABCD is a square, that means it's a straight line, that means this angle will also be 90 degree. This is 45, that means this will also be 45, right? Now I assume this length to be x, then this will also be x, right? The side of the square I assume to be y, 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 then this will also be y, right? Now what? Area of VEG is 36. That means half of base into altitude. That means half of x square is 36. That means x square is 72. Right? Now we are given this ratio. Area of triangle EDF. EDF. What's that? So this is x. That means this must be x. Right? Actually DAGF is a rectangle. Okay. And what will be the area of this rectangle? That's y plus x into y, right? This complete length AG into GF, right? EDF, the area will be base into altitude into half. So base is x plus y, altitude is x plus y. So half of x plus y whole square. That is the area of EDF by area of AGFD. AGFD. That's a rectangle with AG as y plus x and GF is y. So y plus x into y, and that's given to us as 3:2. That means x plus y is equal to 3y. That means x is equal to 2y. So x is equal to 6√2. That means y is equal to 3√2. Okay. Now what? So this is y, that means diagonal of this square will be what? y√2. And what is actually diagonal? That is the diameter of this circle, right? So radius of this circle is what? y√2 by 2, or we can say y by √2. So that is radius of this circle. Now we got to know the radius. By that easily we can find out the area, that is pi r square, right? Y is 3√2, y square will be what? 18. So I put 18 over here. So that's 18 by 2, that's 9 pi. That is the area of this circle, right? A very simple concept we have used over here. No much complications are there. Your answer is 9 pi. Okay. Only one fact, that diagonal is 45 degree. That means the angle between diagonal of a square and the side is 45 degree. This is the only funda that we have used over here. Otherwise the entire story is very easy after that. Okay. Now let's try this problem. Here ABCD is a trapezium where BC is equal to 4 centimeter and angle ABC is the 30 degree. CD is equal to 6 centimeter and area of triangle ACB is 8 centimeter square. We have to find out the area of this trapezium, right? Now what I do, I drop a perpendicular from here, right? So okay, so this, okay. Now area of ACB is 8 centimeter square. I suppose this to be x. Now relationship between this and this is given by sine theta, right? So x by 4 is sine 30 degree. Sine 30 degree is 1 by 2. That means x is equal to 2. That means this length is 2, right? Or we can say altitude of this trapezium is 2. Now the other way to find out the area of triangle ACB is what? Base into altitude. What is base? That is AB. Altitude is what? 2 into 1 upon 2. So that's actually 8, right? Half base into altitude. That means AB is equal to 8. Now we got AB, we got DC, we already have DC, we got altitude. So what is the area of a trapezium? Half sum of parallel sides into altitude. So that's 14 unit, or we can say 14 centimeter square. Okay. Now we have this question. A and B are legs of this triangle, right triangle PQR, and simultaneously A and B are roots of this equation. We have to find out length of the hypotenuse, that is PR. Okay. Now what? See, what will be PR? That's PR square is A square plus B square, isn't it? Now A square plus B square can be written as A plus B whole square minus 2AB. If we open it, A square plus B square plus 2AB we will get. So that 2AB and minus this 2AB will be cancelled and we'll be getting A square plus B square. Now A plus B is what? Sum of the roots. So sum of the root is what? Coefficient of x is negative. So coefficient of x is what? Minus 7. So minus 7 and negative 7. So square will be 49 minus 2AB. AB is what? Product of the roots. That's 3. So that's 43, right? So PR square is 43. That means PR is root 43. Okay, depends upon the options. Your answer must be something around 6 point something or maybe root 43. Depends upon option. Whatever is there, you can mark easily. Okay. Now we have this problem. In a right triangle ABC, the perpendicular drawn from C on the hypotenuse meets the hypotenuse at D, and the bisector of angle C meets the hypotenuse at E if length of AE by EB are in the ratio 3:2 and length of DB is 4 unit, then CD is what? That we have to find out. So first of all, I draw a diagram over here. So this is A, B, C. This is perpendicular. This is AB's hypotenuse. This is 90 degree and this is D. And this is angle bisector. I suppose this to be, okay, that's E already given. So this CE is the angle bisector of ACB. Okay. Now you know angle bisector theorem. See here AE is to EB is given to us. AE is to EB. So that's 3:2. So that's 3x and 2x, right? See, angle bisector theorem is AC by CB will be equal to AE by EB. Here CE is angle bisector, so AC by CB is equal to AE by EB. I have explained this theorem a lot of times. AC by CB is equal to AE by EB. And that's actually 3/2. So if it is 3:2, the same ratio will be maintained over here. Maybe it is 3K and 2K. Okay. Now what? Various times we have taken the triangle ACB, the original triangle, the triangle ACD inside this, triangle CDB inside this. These two triangles and the original triangles, all of them are similar to each other. The same thing we are going to use over here once again. See, we don't know the length CD. I assume this to be, say, B. Okay? Or precisely that only we have to find out. So, now this triangle ACB and triangle CDB, both of them will be similar to each other, right? I have explained why they are similar. Now again, I'm not going to explain that. You should be knowing that if it's a right angle triangle and from this right angle vertex, if you drop a perpendicular on hypotenuse, then the two triangles and the origin, all of them are similar to each other, right? Now here I'm just putting the sides in proportion, right? Triangle ACB is similar to triangle CDB. So this is the bigger triangle and this is the smaller triangle which I'm going to use over here, right? Now, how would I take the sides in proportion? In the smaller triangle, the angle opposite, the side opposite to 90 degrees is 2K. In the bigger triangle, the side opposite to 90 degree is 5x. Okay. In the smaller triangle, the side opposite to common angle is 3K. I'm sorry, this is P. And in this bigger triangle, the side opposite to common angle is 3K. Is equal to the third side, that is, this is 2K, this is P, so the third side will be BD. So that's BD and this is 5x, this is 3K, so third side will be 2K. Okay. Now if I take these two, K and K will be cancelled. P I have to find out. BD is given as 4, so this is 4. So this is 2, so P must be 6, right? So length of CD is nothing but 6 centimeter. So a simple property of similar triangles we have used over here, right? That is, in a right angle triangle, the two triangles which are formed by joining the vertex to this hypotenuse, the CD, and the two triangles and the original triangles, all of them are similar to each other. Okay, I hope you are clear. So friends, good number of examples we have taken in this session, and each and every example was really conceptual. You should try to do on your own. You should note down all the concepts that we have used over here, and I'll be meeting you once again in the next session with some more problems of geometry, some more concepts in geometry. Okay, bye bye.